It's a new year. It's time for some new favorites. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, if you haven't, take the time right now to subscribe. But basically, in today's video, I'm going to sum up all of my favorite things in 2016. It was a great year and I had some really great favorites, so let's just get into it. Two little disclaimers here. I'm filming on a new lens today, so if everything looks a little bit different, that's why. I'm still getting the hang of it. I'm not sure if I love it yet. And second, I have some favorites that are similar to 2015, so I tried to leave out ones that I didn't feel like were necessary to re-include. I still use a lot of the same products though, but I also have a ton of new favorites this year. I thought I was repeating a lot, went back and watched last year's video, and there's some cool new stuff in here. So let's get into it. This year, I have two new foundation favorites that I was literally obsessed with in 2016. These weren't the only foundations that I used throughout the whole year, but they're by far my favorite standout products. So the first one is the MERCIER Candle Glow Soft Luminous Foundation. The second is the BECCA Aqua Luminizing Perfecting Foundation. I have reviews on both of these products. I will include a little clip right here, so you guys can hop over and watch that if you want to. But basically, these two products just give me the most amazing luminous finish, and they have different coverage types, so that's why I love both of them almost equally. This one has a little bit of a medium to light coverage. The BECCA foundation definitely has a light coverage, so I kind of pick and choose depending on what I'm doing that day. For concealer, I have one favorite, which is kind of amazing. And honestly, I never thought that I was going to go back to a high-end concealer, and then I did. And honestly, I don't know if I'll ever part with this guy because it's so amazing. And it is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I have used this in almost every single tutorial that I put up since I've started using it, if not every single one. I think I have used it in every single one. This concealer is just amazing. It has great coverage, it's liquidy, it's not drying, it stays put. Once it's like formed to your skin, it stays there. It's like super glued without the dryness. This concealer is the best thing that I have ever used, ever, and I really recommend trying it. My brows were not up for playing any games this year, so I do have one repeat favorite this year, and it is the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Chocolate. That being said, I did try out this new product from the Anastasia line, which is the Brow Definer Pencil Crayon, I guess, and this one's in dark brown, or medium brown, sorry. So since I've already talked about Dip Brow enough, because it's just the amazing filler in of all brows if you want like an intense pigmented brow like I like. But this little definer has a kind of triangle tip shape, which you guys can look it up online because you won't be able to see it that clearly from this video. But what I love about this guy is that it just makes filling in like hair-like strokes really easy without having super thin strokes that take a really long time. It's also really great for outlining your brow, like if you want to get a really sharp line underneath your brow, because maybe you haven't like been cleaning up your eyebrows too much. So yeah, just these two products, I use them different days for different purposes. Dip Brow is my everyday product, but if I have a lighter day where I just want a little bit of pigment in my eyebrows, then I'll go with the brow definer. For eyeliner, I have been completely obsessed with the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. I'm not sure if I was using this last year or if I was still using my Stila liquid eyeliner. They're very similar products, but the reason why I love the Kat Von D formula even more is because it dries completely matte. So not only is this eyeliner super long wearing and it never gives me that kind of double line that a lot of people kind of suffer from with other liquid eyeliners, but it also dries really matte, so you don't have any kind of weird shimmering glowing effect on your eyelid that just does not look realistic. And this guy just, it lines my eyeline and it makes my eyelashes look like they're bolder, and it just stays where it's supposed to be. So I love this. My favorite mascara this year was by COVERGIRL, and it's the SUPERSIZER Fibers Mascara. I used a couple different mascaras from COVERGIRL in the last year or two, and honestly this is just my favorite. I've used it in the regular formula and the waterproof. I definitely like the regular formula more because the waterproof is just a little too hard to remove at the end of the night that I honestly cringe when I have to wear it. and I just really like this. It makes my lashes long, it gives them just the right amount of volume, and it wears amazingly. Like there's no kind of fallout or like smudging on the lower lash line, which I noticed in a lot of mascaras, high-end included, and this just is amazing. And another Kat Von D product, which is definitely a repeat from last year, is the Shade and Light eye palette, because this palette, guys, is honestly the only palette that I think anyone ever needs in their life, especially if you're someone who doesn't use shimmering eyeshadows. So I only started in the last month re-wearing shimmery eyeshadows. For the majority of 2016, I just was not using anything but matte shades, and this palette just has the best selection of matte shades that you could ever ask for. I've used it in literally every tutorial. They're completely blendable, creamy, pigmented shadows, and you just don't get any better than this palette. My favorite powder of 2016 was definitely the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. It's just this little powder. I completely used up this container and I have to use my new one now. But this guy just helps to set your under eye area, which is the most important place to set on your face if you ask me. It has a really great finish. It doesn't look cakey or powdery, and just a little bit of it really locks all of your products into place. So definitely a product that I think everyone needs to use. There's no white cast or anything like that. I wouldn't use it to bake necessarily, but just a really great everyday product. My favorite bronzer this past year has definitely been the Omega bronzer from Marc Jacobs. This is in the shade Tantric. This bronzer is amazing because not only does it have the perfect kind of tanned color that I think works for a lot of skin tones, like it's not too orangey, but it's not brown. It has just a tiny bit of like a shimmery kind of effect to it, like nothing that you would notice and say like, oh, that has shimmer in it, but it just has enough, like it makes you look nice and glowy, which is amazing, and it wears beautifully. So it doesn't kind of like get all muddy on your face, which a lot of bronzers do, and I don't know. I just couldn't imagine not using this guy, and honestly I've used him every single day of 2016 and I haven't hit pan, so that's pretty amazing. The last powdery product that I used in 2016 is also one that I only started using at the end of the year, but I have to say it's really quite amazing. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, or Lighting Edit, Surreal Lighting Palette. So this is the palette that Hourglass released this year. I think they do one every year. That's like a limited edition palette. I don't know if this is limited edition, I'm kind of just saying that. Basically, this palette has a finishing powder, a highlighter, 2 blushes, and a bronzer. Each of them has a really amazing color, pigmentation, an amazing wear. I just really like this palette. I honestly don't use the finishing powder so much because I do own other Hourglass finishing powders, but the blushes I use, even though I have the other blush palette from Hourglass, the bronzer's actually fantastic, but the reason that I love this product so much is the highlighting shade. So honestly, if you guys just want a highlighter, you could probably check out the Hourglass highlighting line in general, but I've just been using this palette every day because it has every single product that I would ever need for my blush, bronzer, and highlighter, and it's just all in one place and easy, and it is amazing. I don't know how else to say it. I have a ton of lip favorites and I'm not even ashamed about it. So this year I really fell in love with the kind of mauvey brownie nudes, and I have a lot of colors here that when I'm holding them up side by side they all look like they're the same, so don't call me crazy. I'm just gonna do a quick spitfire round of all of these because all of them have a really amazing formula, really amazing wearability, really amazing pigmentation, and they just all have different kinds of needs, so you guys can pick and choose what you like the best. I also love the lines just in general, so you'll notice that I tend to have multiple shades from one line just because that's what I like. First up, I have Glace from Bite Beauty. This is the matte crayon. From the Kat Von D line, I have 2 everlasting lip colors, one in Lolita and the other in Lolita 2. I have a KYLIE lip kit in Candy K, and the Makeup Forever Aqua Lip in 2C and 14C. My favorite primer of 2016 is definitely the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizing Base. I just love this primer. It really evens out my skin and kind of fills in pores just enough. It's not like a miracle product, but it's really, really great. My favorite moisturizer for the year was definitely the CAUDALIE Moisturizing Sorbet. I use this every single day because it just absorbs into my skin so quickly, so I don't have to wait a long time to apply my makeup afterwards. It has a really nice scent, a really nice feel, and it doesn't leave my skin feeling greasy afterwards, which is a big no-no for me. Under eye cream was something that I really struggled with in the past because my under eyes just get really dry and they end up looking cracked and makeup just doesn't settle right on them. So the real blessing for this year was the KIEHLS Creamy Eye Treatment with Avocado. Everyone always raved about this, and I just have to be another voice added to that shout because this is just really great. It's really creamy, really hydrating, and I haven't had an issue with my under eyes yet, especially in the cold weather. And my favorite hand cream for the year has been the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I like this cream because it's just a simple cream. It doesn't have any kind of notable scent. It absorbs into my hands really quickly, and it doesn't leave them feeling greasy or anything. They just feel moisturized afterwards. I've been trying out a ton of different hair products the last year, but the standout that I really loved the most was the Bumble Repair Blow Dry Cream. I'm trying out a ton of new products, so hopefully I'll have some new favorites for 2017, but I just like this product because it's a cream that I can apply to my wet hair, and it allows me to go ahead right there and then and style my hair. It kind of gives it a nice finish while keeping it protected from heat, but at the same time, I like to just sleep with my hair, leave this product in, and then go ahead and style my hair. I love this because it has that heat protectant in it, so I don't have to go ahead and spray other product into my hair. It doesn't leave any kind of residue or like feel to my hair that is really gross from other products. And yeah, I just really like it. It doesn't weigh my hair down. It doesn't do any of the bad stuff. It's just kind of the perfect everyday product. Getting into the real skincare now, I have a couple of different favorites. I used two different new cleansers for the year. The first one is my nighttime cleanser that I loved, which was the KIEHLS Ultra Facial Cleanser. I have been using this with my Clairsonic. I just really like how it feels on my skin. It's not a super heavy duty cleanser, but it does break through all my makeup and things like that. It doesn't have any kind of chemical-y taste. Honestly, it tastes a little bit like soap when I get a little bit of it in my mouth, which isn't pleasant, but it's not like I don't feel like I'm being poisoned while I'm using it, and it doesn't irritate my eyes or anything like that. So it's really amazing. Not necessarily a gentle cleanser, not necessarily a harsh, deep cleanser, but just the really great in between. Another cleanser that I have been using, which was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but definitely really amazing, was the BOSCIA TSUBAKI oil infused exfoliating powder. So I was using this product when I ran out of my typical cleanser. This is an amazing deep cleaning exfoliant. So I use this kind of just like as a daily face wash, which is probably not how you're supposed to use it, but basically it just gives you the cleanest feeling skin that you could ever imagine, and it's really cool because it's literally a powder that you put into the palm of your hands, you mix with a little bit of water, and then you exfoliate or rub it into your skin, and it's just so cool. My favorite mask of 2016 is the GLAMGLOW THIRSTYMUD Hydrating Treatment. I have a couple different containers of this, one here and one at school that I use because I just cannot go without this mask. It is the most hydrating mask that I have ever used, but it doesn't leave my skin feeling like gloopy or like greasy. It absorbs really quickly, but at the same time, I can leave it on for longer periods of time and not break out from it. I've worn it on flights and it doesn't have any kind of weird look to it, so no one would even know that I'm wearing it, and I just really like it. Oh, and the smell on this is absolutely amazing. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like a coconut pineapple like mix. and it's just amazing. It's like wearing a pina colada on your face, but don't eat it, obviously. And my other mask favorites were definitely sheet masks, and the ones that I like the most are from Sephora. Surprise, surprise. I have the Rose Eye Mask here and the Rose Face Mask. I just like these because they're supposed to be moisturizing and brightening. You guys can kind of pick from their line for things that apply to you the most, but these are just the ones that I really like. My first random favorite of 2016 is going to sound a little bit weird to you guys, so don't judge me just yet, but it is Dramamine. So I have suffered from motion sickness since I was a little kid. I would always get car sick in rides, and in the last like 4 or 5 years, it's honestly come back with vengeance. And I really didn't know what to do, and then someone recommended that I try out Dramamine, and this has honestly helped me a lot get through long car rides where basically even the worst driver could be driving in like a tractor trailer and I would probably be okay. The only side effect to this guy is that he makes me really sleepy. If you guys watched my second set of Vegas vlogs, then you know that I passed out for the duration of my entire flight, which was kind of insane because I could never sleep through a plane ride, and this just kept me asleep for 6 hours. My favorite TV shows of 2016 were The Bachelorette, The Royals on E, and Jane the Virgin on the CW. These 3 shows, honestly, I didn't think I would like many of them, if not any of them, and they have just quickly become shows that I have to watch every single week for different reasons. The Bachelorette, I really never wanted to get into The Bachelor, but The Bachelorette, I had to watch it because JoJo just looked so cool and we had the same name deal going on, and I fell in love with falling in love through The Bachelorette. Even though it probably isn't real love, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt until a couple that I watch falls apart. Then Jane the Virgin I just love because it's great drama every single week, and it's also funny, and the people on it seem so genuine, and I just really like that show. And The Royals on E was definitely the surprise attack for me because when it first came out I thought it was going to be absolute garbage, and it probably is absolute garbage, but it is so good. Like, I haven't ever watched a TV show like this. I guess maybe I have, but I don't know. I just really like the story. I like the mysteries that are involved with it. It's nothing too dramatic. It's also like it has romance, it has drama, it has everything, and I really like it. I have 2 movie favorites for 2016. The first one is the kid version of me, and it is Zootopia, because Zootopia was just the best movie all year, okay? Okay. It just had a really great story that was really uplifting, and it had a bunch of lessons intertwined with it, and I actually got to listen to the producers like personally talk about all of the work that goes into the Disney animated films and Zootopia specifically, and I just really loved it. I really genuinely hope that there's going to be a Zootopia 2 because they kind of hinted that that might be a possibility when I was listening to them, and I would just watch it in a heartbeat and rewatch it, and I'm waiting for it to come on TV because I just want to watch it all the time. The second movie favorite that I have of 2016 came at the very end of the year, and it is La La Land. La La Land was one of those movies that I consider like real movies. I don't categorize like indie and like drama and romance. I categorize movies and then like real movies. And real movies are like things that get nominated for Oscars basically. So that's how I differentiate. So Zootopia was my movie favorite of the year, and La La Land was my real movie favorite of the year because it just was inventive and really entertaining, and it breaks my heart, and you just feel everything that's going on in it. And honestly, I was so invested in the movie that I couldn't believe when it was over, and I felt the pain of the characters. The characters did not feel my pain though, because that's not how movies work, but overall both of those movies were really great. So if you guys are looking to check something out from this past year, then make sure to check out both of those. My favorite workout of 2016, and yes, you can have a favorite workout, was kickboxing. So this past year was really, to me, about trying to find a fitness routine that I loved. And honestly, if you guys are trying to get into a kind of new fitness regimen, then I really recommend trying out a ton ton of different classes and different workouts and finding what really gets you motivated, because kickboxing was my obsession while I was doing it. Every single week I would look forward to going to that class, and no matter what else was going on in my life, I would always make time for it because it was just so much fun for me. I felt so good after doing it, and I honestly intend to always be involved in kickboxing in some way, shape, or form. And I think that that is it, which I can't believe it because I feel like I'm summing up my whole year and now it's over and I don't have any more favorites to share with you guys. So yeah, if you guys had any favorites for 2016, make sure to tell me what they are in the comments down below. Tell me on Instagram, Twitter, however you guys feel like it, just let me know so I can learn a little more about you when you just spent like half an hour learning about me. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Leave any video requests down below and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! And if you guys want to see my last couple of videos, then you can go ahead and click one of the videos here or click on my face to subscribe.